Romantic age began from 1800s to 1850. European art was largely used for political gain or to push a religious agenda. Pieces had slowly begun to embrace human fragility, with some artists opting to display the subtle complexities concerning the seemingly simplistic mannerisms of human life. Romantic age showing emphasis on the individual, nature, and the celebration of imagination. It includes the Impressionist movement, which focused on crafting saturated landscapes, flooded stylized light and shadows, which not only prove to accentuate figures and the environment they inhabited, but elicit new emotion from the observer at first glance. In contrast to the somber nature of the neoclassical style, which effectively utilized chiaroscuro and begs the observer to walk into a piece, decipher its message, and wonder a while. The Native Americans, with totems and pottery, serve as an inherent part of their culture, with symbolism and style being influenced by the surroundings of a tribe. They were also incredibly efficient in hollowed out aspects of their daily lives, with no portion they had at the disposal going to waste. Example.
Every part of a hunted animal was used effectively, and those resulted in creation of symbols. It elaborates clothing, technologies, and ceremonial tools as a result to their practices.
It also includes the African art, which mass and statues continue to be a core part of the countless tribes throughout the continent, with innovation of art slowly resulting due to the evolution of the ritualistic behaviors. The Ndebele tribe is the unique tribe in Africa. It is located at South Africa, which not only developed some of the most stylistically distinct African art but intentionally fostered art on their culture. It has distinct geometric forms against stark, contrasting backgrounds form the basis of the Ndebele style, which encompasses in architecture, clothing, and tools of the people. Laukala has almost always had a rule on drawing emotions in art. The Ndebele, one of the southern African tribes, specifically utilize the wide era or kalas conveys a specific meaning of their lives. The stalva developed between the 20th century with beadwork becoming synonymous with a belly at culture that is still strong within South Africa today. Next, Japanese art during the ukiyo-e era in 1600s to 1900s. Art in Japan strayed a different course from the realism movement sweeping the world. Tonal forms have always been less prominent in Japanese art, while line work and intelligent use of color were preferred to subtly add flair to pieces. This serves as an inspiration for the artists like Van Gogh to craft art with an emphasis on the effective use of brush in color as opposed to the process of blending his paintings. As the world became more interconnected, so too did the active exploration of artistic styles with the Japanese ukiyo-e paintings and the geometric forms of African art playing pivotal roles in shaping new Western styles. While art continued to be a natural part of the various societies and cultures across the world, thought on art itself was fragmented in Europe during the 19th and early 20th centuries. The images of more expressive styles were found by the academies due to the perceived lack of evidence skill in creating such pieces, dividing those used art to express their emotions and feelings, and those as we that something we should always typically love that no matter reflects someone sees with their own eyes. Many arts confine poverty and fusel only finding grievance of the death. We can also see the realism movement find firm ground, as well as the gradual birth of a wealth of anti and neo art movements like Art Nouveau, Fauvism, pop art, expressionism, surrealism, dadaism, abstract expressionism, and cubism. For example, The Creation of Adam by Michelangelo. It was argued that despite his faith in the Catholic Church, a brain surrounds his depiction of God in the piece, alluding to a suggestion that the creation of God is man-made in itself. So now let's move to realism. With the advent of modern art, the argument between realism and style continues. So, between observers and artists alike, some are adamant that realism should prevail over style. It shows the artist's true technical capacity and skill as an artist. There was a people who was able to perfectly capture the style of the old masters. But because his immense talent was tapped from a younger age, it provoked him to explore alternate directions for which to take his art, leading to him pioneering the Cubism movement and deriving eternal joy from creating art, for his life had become an art. So he was Picasso at a young age. So, regardless of formal training of natural talent, in this contemporary age, it could be stated that the immature can now compete with the professional the very thing masters of the neoclassical movement had both predicted and feared. So, immature means beginners or those artists that are still learning to become an artist. In reality, however, art today has become less about the style of age or society, as it has been about the artist discovering and expressing their own style regardless of the medium, ability, or style of an artist. Understanding our past is necessary step to begin crafting a future that encourages critical thought. For thought breeds action, and with action comes creation. So, with our intellect or with our imagination, we can express it through drawing or through our actions. And by doing this, we can come up with a creation of creativity. So, this imagination, expression, and creativity plays an important role in art and, of course, as an artist. Art is a powerful tool to push agendas and promote ideologies across the history. It has been the fabric and bridge of countless cultures and people. Art also is capable of taking us back to the places and the times, our previous times, that we can only imagine. Art will always mean different things to different people, since we we are having different perspectives in life, and we have our own beliefs, our own cultures. So we can come up with a different perspective also, since we are also different. Today, art is anything you want it to be. And for us, it is a beautiful thought.